Start streaming. The button has been pressed. The lights on OBS are all green. The KBPSs are pushing. The YouTube backend says my connection is excellent. And it's showing me an actual stream occurring this time. This time, Amabel, this time we might actually be live. How do you feel about that?
Oh, did you send me a link? You sent me a link.
I did send you a link. Welcome to the legal stuff. Because Activision is your friend, as we were just discussing.
Well,
they're too
they
cool.
don't know that.
They're too cool to sue you. This is like the legal stuff, but it's just stuff, man, or whatever. Backwards baseball cap. Okay, cool. Hello, welcome. There is chat. People are live. Welcome. Hello, BBDDH.
All right, I'm just getting the links out.
Yep.
Wow, this plays this awesome attract mode.
Yes,
I am so...
Hello, viewers. Welcome to phase 1 of the stream, where today we are continuing our journey into the history of Pitfall and our friend Pitfall Harry. I have the manual for this pulled up so that I can relate the lore and everything, and also help you with controls if
I appreciate that.
Need be. Although it is at an unreasonable level of zoom that will prevent me from being able to read it. That's the sacrifice I make for you. The stream is live. We had a little bit of a false start there. We had more, maybe two false starts, up to as many as 3 false starts, depending on how much of that actually went through and became live. Hey, don't watch this. Don't learn things.
Don't learn things.
Don't learn things with your eyes. Learn things with your hands. All right, Amabel. Okay. Before using your PlayStation game console, which is certainly how we're playing this video game that we purchased legally, a very small percentage of individuals may experience epileptic seizures when exposed to Pitfall. So be wary.
Geez, that looks like a 90s comic.
Do not bend, crush, or submerge Pitfall in liquids. Do not leave it in direct sunlight. Oh, look at this shit.
The rift opened up. Out popped, whoa, Mira. Cute little mocha. She started gabbing on about this pure energy stuff called Lucence that comes in 2 flavors. The blue stuff's good, and the red's no cherry. Now one Moku got a little too excited with the red Lucence and turned into the Scourge. With the red Lucence, the Scourge imprisoned all of the Mokus and put a force dome over the city. The rift started closing. Hey, beautiful girl, suicide mission, I'm in.
It's fucking... He's quippy. He's Bruce Campbell.
He's quippy, and it's like a 90s TV series on the Sci-Fi Channel.
It's fucking... I mean, listen, it's Briscoe County as hell up in here. Up in Pitfall. Check out the comic they drew. You know what this is? This is really Turok. This reads so Turok to me. Because, even with the music is so Turok. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. So yeah, welcome to Pitfall, Harry. Oh good, he has things to say. So welcome to the continuing adventures of Pitfall Harry Jr. This is the younger.
Oh, this does not.
Yeah, so, controls horribly.
Here's a bit of Anna. Okay, that's.
I did play about the first level of this just to make sure it works. So I can tell you, it controls worse than anything.
There are 4 face buttons, which are more than I'm used to on a keyboard.
Sure.
Plus, like triggers. So I'm using an official PlayStation keyboard to play this. Of course, I didn't have the controllers. Like, no, that's okay.
This isn't really a control. A controller is not super valuable for this, because as people may or may not know, I don't know exactly how old everyone in the audience is. The PS1. This is a PS1 game. The PlayStation 1 did not launch with analog sticks. The default PlayStation 1 controller is a pure D-pad and buttons affair. It is basically just a slightly more complicated SNES controller.
So, a key bit of Amabel lore for people, I guess. 'Cause I'm a person. People have lore, right? That's not weird at all to say. What?
Amabel, you're talking over his hilarious quips.
I stopped playing video games when the PlayStation came out, and for many years. Oh, great! Yeah, I love this three-dimensional platforming on a fixed camera angle. Oh,
yeah.
So but that's a.
There's no camera stick or anything because again, there were no sticks. So.
And I found the experience of playing games in the three-dimensional space, especially these early primitive ones, so unappealing that I just stopped playing video games until I accidentally was mistaken for a video game reviewer. And then I started playing games again around the PS3 era. So this is a whole... Wait, what way do I go now then?
Well, you gotta explore. It's like Pitfall 2, right? And that it's an open world. So to be clear, we are beyond the jungle. Those of you who saw the incredible cinematic, we are on an alien world. Pitfall Harry has been lured to an alien world by the presence of an alien woman who has what appear to be Earth boobs, normal boobs. Oh.
I mean, okay.
So this alien lady Mira is leading me.
Okay.
Oh, I see. You have control over the swing direction.
Well, at least this has Earth pits that I'm used to, where they just open up.
Classic Pitfall hazards. How do you feel they're doing communicating the gameplay of 2D Pitfall into the 3D space?
I mean, I'm not enjoying it. I don't know.
Oh, can we do that? Is that going to clear legal? Is the dude from Tarzana going to be mad at us? So you have a health bar in the upper left. If you want to stand in that blue light.
Oh, I get it. The crystals give me health.
That's better.
He's so quippy. He just played two quips over top of each other. So you have a health bar in the upper left that has the Activision logo in it for some reason. And then in the upper right you have your boot counter, which is your lives. So if you see cool shoes hanging out anywhere, you want to touch the shoes.
Okay.
A very unceremonious kick to the end of level screen.
Okay. I'm not saving the password. All right. Let's see how far we get. I got farther in this than I did in the other Pitfall sequels. The other like Pitfall, the NES Pitfall, and the arcade game, and the
you beat an entire level here.
Yeah.
Within the city, there are 4 orb keys. Find them all to access the cavern rift.
Now we're having some fun.
All right, Ash, calm down. What's that? What's that thing done? Yeah. What's that thing done?
Oh, okay,
do you not feel like you should touch that?
Okay.
Shit, cool. You got a translocator? Hold on, let me see if that's in the book.
Okay. Can you also find out for me, I would like some context as to who is the voice actor? If they were credited at all?
What do you mean, who is the voice actor? First of all, it's incredibly obvious. But secondly, I've been making reference to it the whole fucking stream.
Oh, it actually literally is Bruce Campbell.
Yes, it's Bruce Campbell.
Okay.
Can you not tell?
No, I could not tell.
Must be that orb key I've heard so much about.
Yeah,
Come
no, I
on.
hear it now.
That's Bruce Campbell as hell right there.
Okay.
Where does it describe the power-ups?
Well, I just used it.
Well, no, you put the
Or no.
orb key in. Oh, you also, okay. Some kind of bomb, I guess? Oh, here we go. Yes, it was a flash bomb. So apparently, Pitfall Harry here on the Moku planet can encounter a wide variety of types of bombs. They'll all have that little like circular base. There's the flash bomb, there's a time bomb, there's a lightning bomb. There's a make your pickaxe hit stuff harder bomb. These scorpions but you like it's a classic Pitfall enemy, but with a new twist because they're incredibly good at wrestling. Oh, you're dead. The pick is the only attack you have, to be clear, is trying to hit stuff with that pick. You may as well just be open-handed slapping them.
Yeah.
Leslie says you can tell it's Bruce Campbell on account of that's him.
All right.
Yeah, the pre-stream text scroll is still up, and it's up on purpose. It is not occluding anything important. There's definitely not like a UI element that is hiding behind that text, indicating that we are not playing this on a real PS1. Obviously, since that is what we are doing. Yeah, I think that symbol is the checkpoint symbol. So the blue thing will restore your health when you step in it. That's the blue. Right. That's the stuff he was talking about in the cutscene. The blue version, the blue stuff is good, and the orange version makes you turn into a crazy monster.
So, how was this regarded when it came out? Like, how did it sell?
Hold on, let me read you a page of text from the manual.
Okay.
These scorpions are relentless.
There's no way to.
There's a full page picture of Pitfall Harry, Pitfall Harry Jr., our protagonist here. The son of the famous treasure hunter Pitfall Harry, Harry Jr. has built quite a reputation of his own. You might have heard of his run-in with the Mayans. Look at that, they're acknowledging the canon. Energetic, enthusiastic, and athletic, he's never one to turn down a challenge, especially where there might be something in it for him. Sure, treasure's nice, but Harry Jr. is really in it for the kicks, chicks, and to sample the strange fermentation rituals of indigenous peoples. Whoa. Boy, it's real 1998 in here.
Yeah.
A visor just came down from the ceiling and attached to my head. I don't know where from. Armed with only a rock pick and a razor-sharp wit, these weapons are more than enough for him to succeed. He's in it for the chicks, Amabel.
Okay. Well.
So
who wanted this?
So yeah, you were asking, how was this received? What did people think of this thing at the time? And I had to tell you, I was a little surprised when I looked that up. This game received a lot of 4s. Regardless of whether a review outlet's scale was out of 5 points or out of 10, they gave it a 4.
4. That's so strange.
It was a very divided sort of.
I thought video games only came in 7, 8, 9, and 10 for ratings. I didn't know you could do a 4. That's what sorcery is this?
So like everybody at EGM hated it. But everybody at GameSpot loved it. There's a lot of it seemed to come down to how forgiving people were about the fact that you cannot control the camera and that the 3D aspects of it are kind of garbage, because you have to remember there weren't a lot of probably no. there weren't a lot of games that had like 3D. How do we do adventure action stuff in 3D was still a pretty unsolved problem at the time.
Yeah. Oh, this is good, where I can't see as I'm moving downward. That's strong design. Oh, there's a... Okay.
Yeah, dude, I'm looking at the reviews. They're a lot of very very divided people. So this was 1998. For the record, Mario 64 is 1996. So like,
Yes.
3D action had been done in a way that was functional, but the PlayStation did not want to commit to the goofiness of the controls. The C buttons are, I think, like an okay. They're an okay answer, but then you don't have as many buttons for action.
Right.
And how are you gonna make a Pitfall game that feels to the consumer like Pitfall if you don't have a button for throwing bombs?
I mean, here's the thing. That's very good. That's very funny. Here's the thing. None of the games besides Pitfall 2 and Pitfall have felt like Pitfall to me, And I think there's a degree to which...
How do you feel about this as an attempt to make it three-dimensional?
I mean, I don't like it. I don't know. It's...
Yeah, it feels very... and I guess I don't have a good sense for how it would have been at the time. I was not playing a lot of console games in 98. But it feels very generic to me now as like the thing that 3D platformers turned into.
Yeah. Now you mentioned Turok. Does this feel Turok to you?
The vibes are very Turok, like the music, and it feels like they're cribbing a lot of environmental feel. The gameplay itself is not Turok at all.
Oh, I did that wrong.
This sort of like it's prehistoric, but also it's an alien temple thing is very, very familiar.
Jeez, I'm just not okay. I'm gonna get it this time. Nope. All right. Pitfall 1 and 2 were both made by a single person. And they feel like it. It feels like someone's particular vision. Like it has almost an indie dev kind of feel to me.
Mm-hmm.
And none of the games since have seemed to understand why people want to play Pitfall. is my and he also isn't involved with them, right? So like it
yeah, that guy, what's his name, Clark or whatever,
who was like who was the founder of Activision.
Yes.
Oh geez, not again. All right, I got two more lives
I assume
left.
he was not there anymore by 98.
I'm assuming, or he was transitioned to the business end of things. And this is the thing about video games as a business, a franchise, as something that is no longer a creative work but a intellectual property.
Yeah,
and I think we can see that like very clearly here in the way this. No, that's all right. We're done with Pitfall 3D. So is this the last Pitfall game?
No. Hold on a second. Before we're done with this, so David Crane, who apparently matriculated at DeVry University, terrible place. David Crane left Activision in the mid '90s because they replaced him on the board, and he was like, "Well, fuck this shit." And he went over to Absolute Entertainment, and then Absolute Entertainment cratered real bad in 1995, and so he was like 3 companies on by the time this thing came out.
Okay.
So before you go do anything crazy here, if you hit no, if we can get back to a main menu here,
Okay.
there should be a password option, and there's some stuff we can have a look at.
Okay.
Yeah. Go to password, and in a very annoying way here, enter Crane's baby.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah, not just the letter C by itself.
Oh, well, I was pressing X to confirm that, and no, it's you gotta do this and then use the arrow key to move over.
Yeah. You mean the D-pad.
Yeah, right. No apostrophe, right? Just in one word.
No, but yeah, it's just... Lazuli says later pitfalls were play tested by a single person. That's almost the same. Check it out. They put the pitfall in the pitfall. In case you were, eager for some pitfall or you wanted to hang out with Exhibit.
Wait, exhibit?
That's an internet culture. I know you often do not get the internet culture.
Yeah, there's something that's okay. Actually, I don't know which. Okay.
You found it. I'm gonna need you to get to a screen that has a crocodile on it.
Okay.
Hey, fake Alex Blue, welcome to the stream. We are continuing to play Pitfall games. This is the PS1 Pitfall. Really taking advantage of the full range of the system's capabilities.
Okay, it doesn't seem to want me to dismount. There we go. Okay, it was a different button to dismount.
Press R1 and triangle.
Okay, that's probably.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
That only works if you're on a screen that has a crocodile on it.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
He says hi, Mom.
I,
Presumably it's the crocodile saying it. If you hit R1 and R2, damn.
okay.
Now you have a different head than before. So congratulations on that.
Oh, it's frozen.
also that killed it. Do you have your R2 bound to like pause emulation by any chance?
I don't think so. Maybe. Well, you know what?
Okay, can you load it back up one more time? Hold on, there's another thing I want to show you in the passwords.
Okay, let me reset.
By the way, you can enter the password "stop talking," and it will launch the game, but with Harry's quips disabled. Because apparently that was a thing that people were after. a way to play the game quietly.
Yeah. Where are my console commands for my totally legitimate PlayStation machine that I've modded?
You should be able to unpause emulation in the emulation menu, I would imagine, right? If it is indeed paused. Okay. It might just be broken, but...
Okay.
Was it paused?
I think it was paused.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have something double bound.
Okay, well, I didn't know that. As long as I don't have to press R2, I'm fine.
So there's lots of other passwords that are, fun cheats. You can put in 0G Harry to enable flying mode. If you put in Disco Lights 5, you'll start at level 3 with 56 lives for some reason. If you enter Vigilante, the thing here just says demo game. I'm assuming it's a demo of Vigilante 8, which was a game that was very pushed. There's an option on the menu for the Vigilante 8 demo, so I don't know why you would need a password for it. But what I want you to put in is play movies. We're just gonna see all the we're gonna see all their crazy pre-rendered.
Okay.
We're gonna get a shot of Pitfall story. Spoilers for the story for Pitfall 3D Beyond the Jungle. Now, one advantage that this game does have over Turok is the fact that you are looking down all the time means you don't have the same draw distance problems that Turok had. It's a clever solution.
Play movie or movies?
Movies. Plural, obviously. Don't you want to see them all?
Yeah.
I don't look for adventure. Sometimes it just finds me. Like when I was swinging through the South American jungle and I saw this glimmer. Yeah, a crystal. And when I grabbed it, a rift opened up. Out popped, whoa, Mira. Cute little mocha. She started gabbing on about this pure energy stuff called Lucence that comes in 2 flavors. The blue stuff's good, and the red's no cherry. Now, one Moku got a little too excited with the red Lucence and turned into the Scourge. With the red Lucence, the Scourge imprisoned all of the Mokus and put a force dome over the city. The rift started closing. Hey, beautiful girl, suicide mission, I'm in.
Yeah, it really feels like, man, it really feels like the era. So, okay, there's not a lot of cinematics. It seems like I'm assuming, you know, you banish the shell is pretty close to the end.
So, there you have it. I rescued the Moku people, destroyed the Scourge, saved the Earth. But you know what? It was worth it. I went home with the girl.
And they fell in front of the Washington Monument, of course, to signify that he is Boner.
Yeah.
In case you were not clear, he is Boner. Yeah, so that's Pitfall 3D. Are you playing Vigilante 8 now?
I have no idea what this is. There are 8 of them?
So no. I think there are 8 characters or something. I don't remember why it was called Vigilante 8. But yeah, it's like a vehicular destruction game. It was super pushed. I remember there being like tons and tons of ads, and people were very like, "Oh, the demo, a new playable demo for Vigilante 8," and then it's just kind of like nothing. Like, I don't think anybody ever gave a shit about it once it actually came out. But it's like, what if Twisted Metal, but it was not.
It is so much louder than the game.
Yeah, I have the stream volume turned way down. It is easily twice as loud as the game.
All right, can we go to the gas game, please?
Yeah, Vigilante 8. In my opinion, you're hearing it here first. Vigilante 8, a complete failure. All right, to the cave. Hey, everybody, how's it going? I saw people talking in the stream chat about, do we know what the topic text is about yet? It doesn't, you know what? It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. So here's the thing. We got this game that we are, I think, a very large percentage of the way through. and it seems to involve potentially the doubling of people, or there's some kind of thing going on where there seems to be some more than oneness. So I took a line from a movie that I really like that is sort of it's reminiscent of that idea, so suggestive of that idea. Y'all seen Hell or High Water?
I did.
You did.
You showed it to me.
You did because I forced you to.
I bring you a message.
All right, let me get the.
Trailing long fingernails around his nipples. It is a message of terror and destiny.
I did not mean to leave the game open to the one about the fingernails and nipples. That's some
I am
apologies.
not afraid. But in truth,
Wait, what?
he was.
The entry that
I'm not
started
seeing
playing
that
when
yet, so-
I know the entry that started playing when I launched the game was the one about the long fingernails.
Okay. Can you stream it to me when you have
I will get you. Fucking hold on.
I am holding on.
I'm operating a massive switchboard back here while also trying to be the host of the stream.
No, I know that, and I'm trying to co-host.
Gast could be helping, but she's not.
I mean, that's not a surprise.
She's just looking at me. She's got her drink in her hand and she's just looking at me.
Wait, what is Gas drinking? I need this lower dump.
I mean, Gast loves Mountain Dew. We all that's. I feel like that's canonically established. Gast basically only drinks Mountain Dew, which I got. Okay, so, I suspect there's not a huge amount of this game left, and I think if we clip this pretty fast, we'll probably check out some Next Fest demos. I have a couple pulled.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're going to be here for 1,000 more hours.
Okay, so we're trying to find the password.
Welcome
The
back.
password edition.
So yes, we're trying to
Password
delete. We're
edition.
trying to delete this particular book from the database. To do so requires a password, and we have a hint for the password. And also, I was just kind of filling in. I was just kind of filling in books here. So I know how to destroy EK-77. We need Beatrice's password. The password hint that we were given. Two men stand on either side, one from above and one from inside. Two men stand on either side, one from above and one from inside. So we have a guy who is two guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's some kind of hint that more than one person seemed to become not themselves at one point or another, but at the very least we have, as far as like a more literal version of that thing, right? We have Isambard Arklovich, who is also Joshua Silverton.
Right. What are they on the other side of?
This is a great question.
'Cause that's
There's some kind of phenomenon occurring here. Something that
the
some
DM
kind of,
something.
yeah, some kind of principle that somebody discovered, and it seems to have had some real deleterious effects on the timeline, on causality. And I'm still not 1,000% clear on that. Joshua Silverton wrote an incredible paper in 29 on DME. So, this is the most incredible book I've ever read. It's like lightning from a clear day. It's impactful, revelatory, impossible, fabulous. Joshua Silverton, only 26 years old, must have been the greatest mind in DME. It's hard to summarize the contents, so make it and read it. But he's basically mixing DP96 and Le Marchand, and using early quantum mechanics to pull it all together. Here's the payoff. The unresolved information that creates a quantum system is meaningfully recreated within a reader's mind when they read. It's obviously true, and it's completely revolutionary. This is how revisions are born?
Yeah.
Revisions is an odd word there. After publication, Silverton embarked on a lengthy American tour. He took as long to write another paper as it's taken me to track it down.
Well, that's 2 years.
Yeah, that would appear to be 2
So
years.
2 years from that publication date.
And we knew about JS31. DP96 is Pemberton?
Pemberton.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure. Okay. Just, finding my footing again here. So, as far as titles that we still have unassociated, which is, it's not a small number. I think this is Quantum Conceptuals in Nature.
Conceptuals in Nature.
Conceptuals in nature?
What we do not see is, by definition, motion.
Condition torn. They always said he was the Natalie Imbruglia of quantum mechanics.
Have we seen JS31?
Wait.
K is going to be like a 5, maybe?
Yeah, it's just like the word "make" in all caps here is.
Yeah.
I feel like we've seen a usage of "make" before. Is it in? Was it in the source control, maybe? Make data source. I made 4.3. Okay. Hard to summarize the contents, so make it and read it. Undercode for bitwise reassociation or previous to return. Deep storage files.
Do you want to try JS29 here?
Yeah, maybe. Do it.
Nothing happened.
I think she should not tell you nothing happened until you can see whether something happened. Source material recombining, JS29 complete. I mean, she said nothing happened, but that seems like something happened. Is it just that this is the thing that was already the outcome of that process?
Maybe.
We've never actually used the make command, so I don't really know what to expect it to do. So in theory, were there a book missing, we could use this to create it.
Didn't Cecil do that with something?
Well, I think yes.
But like, there's a thing where he there was a particular thing he referenced that he had.
So, okay, we had seen this before, right? After
Yeah.
the success of Quantum Conceptuals in Nature, Silverton looks like he's drowning. Is this the work of another writer completely, or was the last one this again? This is the Silverton, the Silverton Eisenbard thing, right?
Well,
Okay,
Silverton
let's see.
was supposed to have stolen the paper. That first paper, remember? From the other guy, yeah.
Kendrick.
Kendrick 32.
I don't know if we have a title that looks like it fits here. We do only have 44 of the titles, and there are 50 works, so
Yeah.
it's possible that we just don't have whatever the title of this is. Did we ever... Hold on a second. No, not this. I wanted to go back to JS29, but I was being lazy about it.
What we do not see is, by definition, emotion.
Did we ever access his author page before? No, we did not.
Okay.
Semiotic assertions.
And The Pen of Galileo,
Pen of
which is the title of
Galileo.
JS31.
Okay.
All right then. The Pen of Galileo?
Or maybe not.
Oh wait, it didn't.
Oh, I didn't put it in the
Pen
right
of
spot for
Galileo?
some reason. Because I am clumsy.
Discoveries not made, they're discovered, found. They emerge from doodles and afterthoughts as we have when we're walking about the place. It's as natural as breathing.
Okay. And we got one more title from him that we haven't.
See, Totally Harmless says in chat, I have an idea, but I'm worried about accidentally being right and spoiling something. I appreciate your concern. I feel like we gotta be close to it.
Yeah.
So have we found Kendrick's 1932 work? Do we have? Yeah, we have Dark Matter in the Veil.
Okay.
We have seen it.
Can you go back to it?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and check.
The universe is more than the sum of its components, with the rest being dark, energies, and potential left over from creation. Our universe is not an object under glass, but an uncompleted thing.
Okay, so not really a lot of interest here.
Do we have the author page for Kendrick?
Uh,
Pink and Kendrick, yeah.
Well, we have a date, PK89. We must have. Yeah, we must have
Well-
looked at the author index.
Okay.
I don't actually know what the stars mean. Some of these pages are asterisked, and some of them are not.
Huh?
So there's something here that is reading as linked but not complete. Hold on a second.
Legend tells
The way
us
it's
there must be
formatted.
every love triangle. But there is only him and two of us. We fight like dragons beneath the earth.
The way the thing on the link is formatted would suggest that it's a PK38 or a PK39, but it could be
Okay.
a different letter set, right? It could be a reference to him on a page about something written by somebody else.
Yeah.
All right, let's just see if we can't fall into the gap on purpose here. Accidentally on purpose. Here we go. I read the others, but this one is clearly all true. An accusation wrapped in a novel like a flimsy disguise. A young student finds a notebook from a dying university professor in his pigeonhole, outlining a principle that can change reality itself. But before he can make sense of it, it's stolen from him, and things around him begin to change, until one day a young woman comes to sell it back to him. So yeah, this is like a critical... This is
Yeah.
a pretty important one. Did Kendrick make this true? Did he dream this after his world had changed, like an echo? Is it fiction when it all happened? I can't keep it straight. How does this machine stay sane? Well,
So we
that's
don't
the
have the
magic of
title.
being a machine.
Assigned here, but it should be Doom come to the doctor, I would think.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Doom comes to the doctorate?
Listen, she says. I know it sounds outlandish, but it's simple, really. We've all been doing it for years here and there by accident. I just bottle it, if you like, and I'll give it to you for a price.
So this note's appended in 84. This one's in 85. The note on the last book
Legend
where...
tells us there must be 2 men in every
Okay,
level,
that is 85 as well.
but there
Because
is
she
only
realizes it's happening.
2 of us. We fight.
Okay.
So she realizes that the machine is doing it. Right, it's just... We have all of this stuff that talks around this principle that relies on a growing understanding and horror amongst the characters that this thing is happening, but we don't have anything that yet just tells us what it fucking is. And so we're trying to,
Yeah.
I'm trying to reconstruct an elephant by feeling around with a blindfold on, that whole
Yeah.
that thought experiment. And so it's very frustrating. This is another one of the ones that's cracked.
Okay.
I wonder if we can have noticed similarities in the condition of the ones that are, because it almost seems like a bleed through of a parallel universe, right? And I wonder if like all the things from the parallel universe are water damaged, or something like that. If there's some kind of physical indicator of crossover, if that is what is happening.
Okay, let's see.
So we still have LR22 that we don't have a title to attach to, and then we have a bunch of titles that we don't have. And a lot of this stuff, My God, He Dances, Dead Voice, Doomwild, isn't a lot of this stuff written by what's her name? Take me to your author index real quick. Yeah, a fair amount of our stuff that we don't have connected here is Emma Kendrick stuff.
Okay. And something ends with a 2.
She was born in 1909. Sorry. I keep yawning. Yeah, one of them ends with a 2, but it's going to be somewhere between 42 and 72.
Yeah. We don't know that it's her.
We don't. But it'd be real easy to find out.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's EK. Oh, it's EK sometimes. Right, that's right.
Because she got married. Yeah.
It's EK only during the marriage. Emma Mayfleur's first novel after her marriage to Kendrick is night and day compared to her earlier work. Writing about marriage is improved by it. Who knew? The doom of the title applies to the career of the protagonist, a young woman who enters the stultifying male-dominated world of academia. But she's brilliant, better than the rest, and, of course, she comes out on top in the end. It skewers her own husband. His novel from the previous year is acutely lampooned. Maybe this is what sent him loony. In short, it's a gas. I've got to find her last book now.
All right
Okay.
then.
So, the doom of the
Wild?
title?
Morning and evening like night and day. In the morning, she was enamoured of it all. But by the evening, she wanted nothing more than to jump on the nearest train and head into the sea. It was like her life was a song whose tune she was constantly forgetting.
I send her flowers, she sends them back. I send her letters, she sends them back. I dragged her to my room and I told her, and she wouldn't listen. So I had to give her something that she valued.
We did track down the whole literary review, right? Well, I mean, LR22 is... So this is an early literary review. We haven't actually seen the title anywhere is the problem. It's not that we don't know what this
Yeah.
is. It's that we've never been given the title. Out of curiosity, LR09. Okay. Let me see if... Okay, somewhere around there should have been the first issue. And I was wondering if we could get a, if we could get effectively like an author page or something. You know,
Yeah,
a publisher page.
Do we have a folder for them?
For the
literary
literary review? Let's see.
Oh, there it was. Yeah, hang on. Go back. Yeah.
So LR22 should be like number 11.
Okay.
Darn. Okay. Literary review routed on another small publisher, Hammerstone, for publishing anonymously.
Okay.
Do we have... Okay, so we don't have anything by Hammerstone. Yeah, given that they initially shuttered in 22. There wouldn't be anything. I was kind of hoping that we might be able to get something published by Hammerstone in which they refer to Literary Review 22, you know, like the lies they spread about us, or, you know, that kind of thing. But if the initial shuttering of Hammerstone was in 22, then there would not have been anybody to write such a thing.
Can you go into HP 08? Just the word
just
doom
misclicked.
has been showing up a lot, and
You are not wrong. There we go. Third try is the charm.
To make a statement is to remove an idea from the pool like a tooth from the mouth, because any statement uttered is less likely to be believed than any statement arrived at in us to change minds, and change them we surely must. It is imperative we state things we know to be false as loudly and boldly as possible, so as to drive the stubborn proletariat towards the truth.
It's certainly an interesting style of Inception.
Okay. Yeah. The only link is DP08. Okay. Yeah. Nothing else links here.
All right, so I do think continuing to try to track things down through Emma makes some sense.
Yeah.
So we have she's Emma Kendrick all the way to 77. Hold on, let me go look at this. I thought I remembered the marriage being shorter than that.
Sees more than the eye can be made to see. What is given space to be seen is heard, and rejoice, for we find the heart open and the sky closed.
It was popular, but it's weirdly hard to find now. And this is when when Alice Calderly quit the first time and then came back.
There was a letter that was left for her,
Yeah.
wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't found that yet.
It was written by her father. Do
I
we
think
know
it
that it
was
was
in
written?
85.
Do we know that it was written by her father?
I don't know if we know that.
Blah, 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 blah. Boy, yeah, you know, we still don't have anything about the Church of the Rampaging Christ. Maybe
Yeah.
they're never mentioned again. They could be very minor characters for sure. Found a letter written the year she left when she came back. Not by Cecil or by Beatrice.
Can you try real quick our authors? We have Emma Kendrick, Josh Silver.
He would have been... Okay, just try them both. Sure, yeah, we can...
Dearest Mayflower, your aunt has returned from Avalon. We were the cleverest of the three of us. I'm so glad we get to tell you that now. Every day.
I found this letter. It was slipped inside the copy of RC92 that I found. Dated 1985. I even compared the handwriting. It's definitely Silverton. I know, it can't be. And yet... I wish I could ask you the question that's in my heart, Father, but I can ask you. I have to, I suppose, simply believe. Okay, so it was JS85, which is to
So
say...
what's RC92?
I found this on the floor of the archive hall. Someone was in here in the years I was away. I know how they found us. My mother's grandfather, William Dooler, was one of the original members. What if they're still watching? So... RC...
Rampaging Christ.
Okay. It's a little unfortunate because I don't think we really know very much about them.
No.
It's going to make it hard to track down like an author page or anything.
We have titles though.
Well, what we have from them is that they destroyed...
Right.
Yeah, but it has updated their thing here. They destroyed Quentin Lamarchand's last book. So it must have existed for quite some time.
Yeah, especially if Mom's grandfather was a founding member.
Yeah. Does the page about this book give us a sense? I wish that note was tagged with where we learned it.
Yeah.
Published by Le Marchand's widow after he died at age 68, she claims his notes will allow him upon his return to continue his discoveries uninterrupted. His notes will allow him upon his return to continue his discoveries uninterrupted. I mean, that's certainly curious.
Yeah. Can you go back to the RC?
Yeah, just a moment.
Well, I'll hold on to it. You go ahead and look at what you want to look at. And then...
Liberated Professor Le Marchand's revisions destroyed by a great monster, by a monster from the Church of Rampaging Christ. See 89. The Church of the Rampaging Christ sounds like a violent missionary organization. It is not. It is an anti-scientific body dedicated to the destruction of knowledge itself for the betterment of human segregation, a dark spin-off of Tennyson's Metaphysical Society. Christ would not, I think, have approved the use of his name. This pamphlet is not recorded here from a desire to preserve this group's ideas, but to serve as a lighthouse for future generations, a tower on the foundering rocks. Steer away. Avoid the rhetoric of the close-minded, for the universe will never fold itself tightly enough to meet these people's needs. That is certainly the case. The author was probably Erstwhistle. I cannot recommend his 1932 screed either. Terrible namesake to have. He's still alive. He published something this very year. Erstwhistle.
All right.
So CE.
Is
That was his namesake?
Yeah. Right. Okay.
And he also published the same 74.
In a world of fools and cretins, of shifting ideologies and wavering belief, a good fixed man is like a tree in a storm, firm and strong, until finally he breaks.
Once a nincompoop, forever a nincompoop. Trees have deep, anchoring, well-considered roots, and they lose branches to protect the trunk. I hope to meet Erstwhistle one day so I can steal his crayons. If he ever read GAOO, I would eat an ICB. Interesting. Beatrice thought to include this book as a reference point. Should it change, we will, I hope, know. Then again, perhaps it is already too late. Things are in motion under the unwinking gaze. I apologize for spurious author and date. It made me chuckle. The machine has taken it more seriously.
Well, this is the Bible.
This is the Bible. Someone returns from the dead in this, because people believed. Hold on, Dad. You were perfect, just as you were. I'm coming for you.
I I don't feel like he was perfect. It's not the...
Bible?
In the beginning was the Word.
Who's God Almighty, I guess. I was trying to figure out what he was doing with the GA, but yeah, God Almighty makes sense.
Can we go back to RC 92? So I think based on the bit of text that we have here,
Yeah.
the title of this is The Weapon of the Enemy.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, that seems sensible
The
to
weapon
me.
of the enemy?
When your enemy has an idea, that idea is to be shunned. But the Bible shows us that when your enemy has a weapon, that is God's way of giving that weapon to you. It is meant to be taken. It is meant to be turned.
William Dueller.
William Dueller helped found the Church of the Rampaging Christ. If we knew the origin year, there's probably some kind of publication, right?
Yeah.
Boy, what would I be looking for here?
Yeah, I don't... So I'm trying to figure... I don't think we have that much information about Beatrice where we'd know her grandfather's birth date, you know?
I certainly don't remember knowing that much, but let's have a quick look at her page, I suppose. Married to Cecil in 58. Two men stand on either side, one from above and one from inside. Her grandfather's name was Will. It is interesting that they noted that her grandfather's name was Will, that they put that on the blue note. I feel like that's pretty much verification that it's important, that we do need to use it.
Yeah. The one thing they mentioned about the Rampaging Christ is that it was a spin-off of the Metaphysical Society.
Yeah. Well,
the Metaphysical...
what was the word he used? I don't know if I like spin-off. I don't know that it necessarily.
Okay.
You know, I think
I'm grasping for a lead. Yeah.
I think the relationship implied there might not be right.
Okay.
So these ones that are untitled, these are the letters, right? Yeah, the doomed correspondence between him and Emma.
He had to destroy me, my reputation, mine.
Hmm.
No pit deep enough, but I suppose he will have written himself into heaven. So, I know how it works as well as him.
I'm really hung up on the fact that we can't figure out a place to get the title for this literary review. It seems like it should be so easy.
Yeah.
I have been surprised. I have spoken to the greatest mind of our generation. And I am assured of just one thing.
You know, it's interesting. It's marked here as being... It's marked as being linked here, but it's not actually linked here, right? Isn't that odd?
That is odd. Yeah.
Maybe there's something I'm not understanding about the meaning of linked.
Or maybe you're saying that there are links. Yeah.
I thought it was to be understood as like the the back functionality of a connection, but
Yeah.
I'm feeling a mite stymied, a little tiny bit here. I have to admit, I am maybe not at my sharpest today. I did not sleep very well, and I am feeling crummy.
Can you go back to one of the PKs that has the asterisk?
Sure.
PK 36.
Juliet Basingstoke stood before her lover.
All right, and let's scroll down.
That she was making a mistake, and she turned. And in that moment,
Okay, because there's something missing. There's a link we haven't found yet, right?
Fix on the hour, or the spot, or the look, or the words which laid the foundation. It is too long ago. I was in the middle before I knew that I had begun.
The frontispiece of her penultimate novel in 65.
Do we have EK65? We must, right? Huh. Okay, another novel. There are too many of these in here now. They're like weeds. Mrs. Kendrick writes well enough. A Chinese immigrant finds beauty in the woods. But what does that have to say about the matters of importance? I hear the review, volume 56. Important. Claimed her husband wrote this. I think they don't know her earlier work, or her older work. The title alone gives it away. In 1936, pre-marriage, dead voice. Case closed. Right, so this is going to be... Greenwalker?
Greenwalker?
Because we knew all of her titles, right?
Right.
The last book was better, though. A bit weird. I finally found a copy. It was published the year Dad died. And we... Well, I wish these were in a cleaner order.
Yeah. Well, we know the year Dad died.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that we have that book note. That's Confession Day, right?
Okay.
Is it?
It might be.
Cecil...
Died in 77.
77. End piece.
End piece. Okay.
So we do have that, though. All right. Let me run down Literary Review Volume 56, which will be... like 65-ish?
Literary Review, Volume 56.
The novel, ostensibly by Mrs. Kendrick, but clearly written by her prolific husband, in an attempt to escape the stigma now attached to his name, goes so far as to have its protagonist outright a woman, disguised as a man, throughout most of this ludicrous book.
How ludicrous. What a ludicrous thing. This review covers EK's new book only because she once wrote about spiritualism. Then they say Green Walker marks the nadir of Pink and Kendrick's work. Imagine Mrs. Kendrick's fury. I wouldn't want to be the editor of the LR when she releases her next. Her power is growing. Like her ability to manipulate the whatever it is, right?
Okay,
That's
yeah.
how we are to understand that. So there was, I believe, one more late in life link on Emma Kendrick's page that we did not have filled in yet, and this is probably it. The book that would follow.
Mm-hmm.
No, we've tracked down all the late stuff. So there's something from earlier. She's born in 09.
We don't have Dead Voice yet. Dead Voice is written before her marriage.
Yeah.
Because Doom Wild was...
I don't deny it, we were close once. But I find it hard to imagine.
Doom Wild was written after her marriage. Can we go back to the Doom Wild one after you're looking at this?
I intend to marry
Yeah.
him once we have enough money.
Wait, that's the wrong. That's the same thing we were just looking at. All right, what are you looking for?
First novel after her marriage to Rainbow Marriage is improved by it. Earlier work. She secures her own husband. Okay, when was she married to Kendrick?
Yeah.
All right then.
Fell in love with him after 44. It was 44. It was when the marriage happened.
Okay.
Right, because we have the letters where she was like, I'm going to marry him next year.
Okay, so... You don't have much more information on the Dead Voice. Well, I hate to say let's brute force it, but probably from like 29, probably from like age 20 on.
Well, I mean, the thing to do here is to go backwards.
Okay, no, that's...
I'm not opposed. Oh. Okay. A novel by Emma Mayfleur. A medium can see ghosts of people who have not yet died. They tell her how they died, and so she is able to save them. Until the medium herself dies, only to tell herself how to avoid it. The paradox ends the book. 8 years later, E.M. married, changed her name. Perhaps she had a child. 8 years after that, aged 43, she restarted her novelist career a second time. She kept the naming scheme from her early work. So this is...
This is Dead Voice.
Dead Voice.
Dead Voice?
Okay.
Live on in the spirit. Unless you have something to tell me.
It's a fascinating, like, representation of the process of whatever DME is, right? Like, this could be a description of a way that it can be perceived.
Yeah.
Lana the Witch says in chat, I really, really like the game's writing in regards to how it portrays the treatment of women back then, especially in how it has no qualms painting it as ridiculous as it was. I'm hoping that's not just me reading into it. No, I don't think it is. I think you're right on. A fair there's a fair amount of stuff here that's just like people not believing that the women can be as capable as they are.
Okay, so we found all her sources.
I'm so worried that we're never going to get more information on DME. So I'm so worried that we already know everything we're ever going to know.
Well, I like to know what it stands for.
Right? At the very least.
All right, so we have 4 titles we don't have codes for. We have a code we don't have a title for. But we know it's to be a literary review of some sort.
Yeah. I mean, we know what the title is. I'm just not allowed to write it down with my bare hands.
The red dots, like these asterisks, mean something is there that we haven't found a link to yet. I'm trying to...
Wrote a new log entry every 10 years. Is that information that we've had? I don't remember ever reading that.
Go to CC 59. He might say that there.
I mean, if that's the case, then obviously there's a couple more log entries we can look at. Truth approaches.
Okay, well then
we must have seen it in a note. We must have seen it in a note from him somewhere.
We also would have done it in 69 then,
yeah,
right?
When a single man imagines a better future,
okay, right. That's
he
what this
does
is.
not
Okay.
expect it to come to pass.
Another 10 years. The machine is old now, like a friend to me. Recent additions of which I am proud, most notable JS24, Greenwalker, and XY55, all significant in very different ways. Significant. I tried to remove Rampage Azimuth Ascending from 39 and couldn't. B will not tell me her password. She says I should already know. Women. Who can build on such quicksand? There is no use trying to hide the truth. Beatrice has left me. She keeps Alice away too. She says I've become a hermit, Quasimodo in his tower. But it is because of what happened with Henry. Hermit is not the worst word she could use for what I am. If I could change this thing about myself, I would. And perhaps with the machine I can. When I was a boy, my father took me fishing. It was the only time we spent together. We used wicker traps that sat in the river and caught the trout that flickered by. This machine is such a trap. It catches ideas and holds them by the fins, contained and yet wildly alive. But not so contained, right? And he should have known, by 69 he should have known that? Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe not. I do not have a good memory for all of the entries in which somebody's like, oh no, the machine is fucking shit up. But at least some of them were in the 80s.
TR-49.
Yeah.
Is trap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
we're
we knew
in
that.
a trap. Okay. I didn't know that.
No, we definitely talked about that last time.
Okay. Okay, well I forgot. So if he didn't make the update in 79 because he was dead in 77.
Hold on. This is not something that we've had before. Youngman's first book, short, simple, obsessed with observation of Mars through poor quality telescopes. DME isn't mentioned. How could it be? Then Youngman idly suggests that he sees more on rereading his own text than was initially present. Many years later, he looked deep into that pool. Another milestone for me. I'll have to file another of my decade markers. Also, Latour is quite wrong. Latour is quite wrong, okay. Not bad for someone born in the 18th century, even if only just. even if only just.
Okay. Well, then that's a 99, right?
Could be. It's gonna be late 90s something, I'm sure. All right, Mr. Xavier Youngman, we have your 2 titles. Let me stick this to its to the thing in the dark.
Matter in the dark?
Words are entangled with the concepts that they embody, and with the conscious preconceptions that animate those concepts. Thus, words have a power to create as well as to describe.
Okay. We're getting pretty close to having everything. DME isn't mentioned. How could it be? But then he mentions something that is like a DME related concept. I assume is why this is written here. The idea of seeing more on rereading than was initially placed there. Many years later, he looked deep into that pool. And that's when he wrote On the Intangibility of Matter.
Okay.
So we figure this is the seed for Pemberton's ideas, which were somehow communicated to a number of French luminaries, despite the fact that she should have been bedridden and dying. Curious.
He reads the letter, and it is like pepper on his eyes. He clutches at his face. Still there, he thinks. Like hatred, boiled down to little bits, small enough to snort. A foul cocaine.
So I did a catalog card under AC if you can read them. I'm assuming this note is why this thing is marked as having an asterisk.
There's nothing here. It's worthless.
My father wrote about the things inside this machine like they were angels in heaven, but they're nothing. I fed in 3 books he would have loved. Notes and Discoveries, Doomwild, Men Must Devour. Shredded them page by page. It's the worst kind of stupid. Look at the comment on the Bible. Look at the card he wrote the year before he died. I don't want to let you down, Dad, but you know what? You let me down. You let Mom down. I've given 4 years to this place. I won't give a day more.
Okay, year before he died, would that be CC 76? Yeah.
Yep. I'm writing this early because I'm getting weaker. I feel myself slipping. My mind has always been my rock. I feel vertigo. At first, I thought a book had poison on the page, as in the tale of Dubon from AG04 and AD45 too. But no, it is more serious than that. I know from my research that words create a potential which can be realized. That is why the books in the archive are destroyed as they are ingested. That's why this machine must be kept secret. These books may be studied cautiously, yes, but they must not be closely observed.
Jesus.
How has it come to this? All for one man, whose mind I never respected anyway. It is the height of foolishness. The correct pattern for life was so plain for all to see. All I had to do was conform to it. Boy, that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So wait, AG04. Do we... What is AG? Oh, okay. I have been unable to satisfy myself with exactly who wrote this book or when. It is infuriating indexing old books because they do not have authors. Instead, they seem to assemble themselves over time. How can one build on such quicksand? So I have indexed The 1001 Nights under the name and date of its European translator, despite this most definitely being incorrect. I find myself, like the Sultan himself, thoroughly dissatisfied by this outcome. Why is this here? What information are we to take from this?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be super meaningful, which means that I'm just not seeing it, I fear. Queen Margot. A woman's strength lies not in her physical prowess, but in her ability to manipulate and strategize. Dumas's Queen Margot is... Oh, right, Dumas, of course, right. Is full of villainy and plot and assassination. Poisonings abound. It is a romp, no more, no less. Beatrice adores it. Beatrice adores it, huh?
Yeah, she likes Dumas. She likes Treasure Island, like a lot of like fiction, like older fiction.
Yeah, high seas type stuff a little bit. I'm trying to like this is. We have so many things that are little hints at the way she thinks.
Yeah,
I need more than that to crack her password.
And the thing where she says that he should already know her password by now.
Yeah.
Here's another thing. He mentions Henry.
He did.
Who the fuck is Henry?
It's a good question. We also have an Alfonso that we don't know what to do with, and it seems odd to have have that detail pulled out to its own file folder if it doesn't go anywhere else.
Yeah. Jim said he wrote a masterpiece.
Hold on. All right. Well, we're going fishing, I think. Was it? Yeah, 26. I'm not afraid. Amabel, come with something interesting to talk about while I do this task.
Yeah, yeah. Well, here's the thing. Either his first name is Alfonso or his last name is.
Oh, his last name could be, yeah, that's, I suppose so.
Alex Ballou says, isn't Henry the man whose voice we were hearing? I think that's right. So if that's Henry, I don't know what the deal is. What happened to Henry?
Well, I mean, we know what happened to Henry. If it's that Henry.
Yeah, but what happened to Henry in the 70s for Cecil, or 60s for Cecil to say that?
That's a great question.
And then also Elise went searching for William.
She did. Which is the name of a...
If William is the name of her great-grandfather.
Yeah.
Is that who she searched? Her great-grandfather? Is he still alive?
Well, she could have gone searching for him in a number of ways, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So forcing A blank 26 did not do anything.
Right.
Alfonso could be a last name. What the hell?
Which? Okay. Well, yeah, BA with BA Baracus.
Actually, I think I can just do this. As long as I let it sit for a second, I think it'll jump if it catches. I'll tell you what, I don't think that the BA in Baracus stands for anything Alfonso. This is probably not going to work. It just doesn't feel. It doesn't feel right this time. I can't put that into words.
Okay, that's probably right, but we're almost there.
Oh well, hold on now. Reverend Alfonso. Reverend is not a name. Okay. It might be actually. I finally found it. Reverend Alfonso drawing dark matter, entanglement, and theology together. I fed in the Bible already because, in my view, it must all be connected if any of it is true. Reverend Alfonso lived for 100 years, like a reward, dying in 63. Did he meet PK? Probably not. Kendrick would have looked through him. All right.
Now I know what DME stands for.
Yeah. So that means we can go here. Okay, that was My God, He Dances.
My God, he dances?
Okay.
All right.
Dark matter entanglement. So are you familiar with the concept of entanglement? In a sort of a loose pop physics sense?
It's where you have two kind of particles that are far apart, and one does one thing, and it happens to the other thing too?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Dark matter entanglement is basically just... It's basically just like science fiction gibberish. But one could, theoretically use it to mean a lot of different things.
Like, is dark matter a thing?
Yeah. Although,
What is it?
I don't exactly know. I don't know how well defined it is conceptually. If it is like a particular thing with a stringent definition, or if it is referential to a sort of category of theory. Physics, not necessarily my hottest field. So okay, dark matter entanglement. It's something. We go back to the boot index. The boot index still has a little sticker by it.
LA 57, source entered number 50.
Yeah. The textual reassociator. So this page is linked from somewhere else. That's curious. Although we kind of don't seem to understand how that link functionality works anyway. And the last source entered was break code.
The machine could benefit humankind, but the longer it ran, the clearer it became that humankind stood forever on a line, with those at the front taking the largest share. So, to put all the value in a single place was to starve those who could never reach the front.
There's a facsimile one, your log entry is dated 49.
Yeah, which we have.
And so, the work begins.
This is like the first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so the name dark matter entanglement, I think, kind of suggests to us that we're not going to learn a lot more because it is so kind of like, it is so vague wave hooey, like.
Yeah. What is 18 more and it's still unresolved? Might be the only copy left. Have we identified all sources by Quentin?
Let's go have a look.
Hello, whatever.
QL. Yeah, looks like.
Okay.
Le Morfault. Would this whole thing be better if these people were animal people in the style of Graham Bass's seminal work, The 11th Hour? Wait, what's it called? It's not called The Seventh Guest. Seventh Guest is that other thing.
No, I think it's the 11th hour.
Yeah, I think I was right. I made myself uncertain.
You have a copy of that somewhere.
I have a copy of it.
Yeah.
I know that. Why didn't you tell me that? Amabel?
Some sweet baby bought you a copy of that.
I don't remember. No, I do remember this.
And knowing nothing you ever do will get rid of it.
Okay. So not critically important. I'm looking at the evidence here and trying to associate all the things that I do remember. Thaddeus Detzer.
The thoughts we think have the power to liberate our most basic conceptions. The words we speak have the power to rewrite another's heart.
Interviewed in issue 17 of the journal. Find dark matter in the veil, which we did.
But when power exists, it finds a channel. So guard yourself. Keep your words close.
Yeah, we're still looking for a semiotic assertion.
Without will.
Find dark matter in the veil, see if this relates.
The universe is more than the sum of its components, but the rest being dark, energyless. and
Right,
potentially
it's all
left
this
over from
Kendrick
creation.
nonsense.
Our universe
Okay.
is not an object of glass,
I feel like I have a much better understanding of sort of like what happened and the thematics of the game. I do not feel that I'm any closer on the riddle.
Right. I'm in the same boat here. Can we check those author files for any other asterisks? If there's anything else that we can kind of...
Breakcode has a dot on it. Okay, literary review number 50. Is there something, some clue that we haven't run down here?
Of what has been produced, but rather a beacon, showing what ought to be made.
Right, my HP 56, because he created that with the machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you? Well, to be elsewhere. To change this world out for another.
How much did imprint came up for sale? Right, so I built a way to make copies from the machine. Ran out Astral Perplexities. It came out close to QL's original, but oddly different. And so he called this version Perplexing Astrality. It is curious to note that this does not have the broken symbol at the top,
Yeah.
which I still don't really know what to do with. LR detested these books so much they got their editor killed. Primitive man, he who remains the setup. Utopia within reach, the punch.
I mean, that's the thing. We can hammer. I mean, I hate to brute force, but we can probably get those 2 hammerstone, or one of them's missing still, right? Primitive Man, He Remains doesn't have a thing assigned yet, but Utopia Within Reach does.
All right then.
What is the code for Utopia Within Reach?
So that's HP 22.
So between 08 and 22.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe start backwards again.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Well, there you go. That's something.
Okay.
This book outlines the ways our cave-dwelling, animal-clubbing forebears are still very much alive today, acting through us. Distasteful stuff. No wonder the writer hid their name. Otherwise, it is 10 years to the day since this project began. The machine is so different now. I will make a new CC so it can remember its birthday. Huh. Huh.
Primitive man, he who remains?
Wild parts of mankind have moments of sophistication. Vast swatches of us are more than content to sit in our caves, scratching our noses and picking fleas out of our beards. Meat, we devour it. Sunlight, we bathe in it. We are fetid little creatures, make no mistake.
Well, there you go. So, hold on a second. Yeah, okay. The 10 years old today note. Right. Yeah, okay.
DC 59, yeah.
This was less helpful than I was hoping. This didn't really do very much for us. So he's got this weird copy of this book. It came out different.
How long does this change last? Well, as long as it takes for the glow of the words to fade from our eyes. Here's what I've learned. The more we read, the more truth gets created. What a splendid thing.
And we do have astral perplexities as well.
Yeah, that's the Sentry, isn't it? The Sentry, or is this a different one?
This is HP 56. This is Perplexing Astrality. This is the version that we printed with the book.
Can we go back to the astral perplexities? I guess that's.
It is known that the universe is the aggregate of all observations made by all systems, including those of conscious beings.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot here.
Contains intrinsic balance.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find. If we can find that literary review.
It is weird that we're having such a hard time tracking down a copy, like the title of a copy of the literary review. When again we know.
So hang on.
We know already what it would be.
Quentin Love. Okay, so he was the editor of
the Academicalist Journal, I believe.
But was he also the editor of the Hammerstone Press? Because if his book was ran through and then came out as...
Oh, no, he wasn't the... Shoot. Who was the guy? It was somebody else.
Oh, Latour.
It was Latour who ran the Academicalist Journal, not Le Marchand.
So if Le Marchand was the editor of Hammerstone?
I mean, it seems like...
And then he was killed by the literary review. They say that they had the literary review had the editor killed. I'm just trying to put it together.
So 50 and 72 here both still have marks.
Okay.
I am desperately trying to trace this down, but like the major thing is still
The idea that we might
the edit
someone
password.
back from the dead has always
Right.
fascinated me.
Which I'm still
To unwrite that most final of writings.
kind of
It was the
stymied
death
on.
of the man I truly loved that made me think of it. And the Marchand's work showed me the way. And it worked. I knew almost as soon as it was published.
So we've certainly got on the intangibility of matter trace down. She doesn't mention her late husband. She does hint at new ones coming in. But she knows what she's got. She knows what her book can do. Christ, Dad, it wasn't an accident. She knew. Like bringing someone back from the dead to unwrite that most final of writings. It was the death of the man I truly loved that made me think of it, and the Marchand's work showed me the way. And it worked. I knew almost as soon as it was published. Just work them over, they don't even know it. So this taking place in 81. Marchand's work showed me the way. What is PK-74?
He reads the letter, and it is like pepper on
Right.
He clutches at his face. Still there.
We were just looking at this.
Like hatred, boiled down to little bits, small enough to snort. A foul cocaine.
So I mean, it seems like he understands the capability as well. Right, if he's apologizing for doing the same to Emma previously.
Yeah.
Two men. Yeah, I don't know.
Two men.
Two men stand on either side, one from above and one from inside. One from above and one from inside. So Illis writes as though she thinks Cecil might be able to see notes written into the machine even though he's dead. As though he is in the machine.
Okay.
One from above and one from inside. I'm just trying, like, I'm trying to make any connection to this that I can. Right?
Yeah.
Dark matter entanglement.
Why do they want us to know her favorite book?
One inside. She'll name her children after the pirates. It's a good question. So yeah, I'm not
Can we
sure.
go back to RS-83?
Not sure what the utility of that note is. We can try. I definitely feel like I'm scrabbling here. I just got nothing.
50 men on the dead man's chest. Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum. Drink and the devil had done for the rest. Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum.
She did say she would name her children after the pirates. It's an absurdity. We must aim for girls. Henry doesn't stop asking. One day I will say yes to him only to spite you.
Okay.
She's like, you want me to produce children for you while Henry's trying to get his fuck on.
So, if she'll name her first kid William, her grandfather's name also is William.
Yeah, maybe that's the William that that Ellis goes looking for.
Yeah, though we don't have any indication that they had any other children.
We don't have any indication that they didn't.
Yeah.
Aim for girls. Irrelevant despite a mention in an image in water.
Semantics is the creation of a reality, like dolls in their houses, coming to life. When we write or dream, we create. When we read or we play, we animate.
Dorothea Pemberton's second book is eclectic. She quotes RS-83, Long John Silver, she insists, is a real person, certainly more real than I. Joshua Silver came along later, coincidence I think, but even he was only real for a time. And that note's from 1950. So you need, in my dreams I walk to understand. Need both linchpins to the purpose. To miss either would invite disaster. So, Long John Silver is a real person, certainly more real than I.
Well, if we're talking about books that are the machine is rewriting things based on the books, the ideas, then the characters in all these fictional books would be real in some way.
They are paper thin, covered with words.
Silverton used him in 29, supposedly he did.
You know, I think they only have the one child because he mentions Beatrice taking Elise with her, not the children with her.
Okay, yeah.
But she's searching for William. Could it be by writing that she would name children William?
She wrote such a child into existence?
It feels like a stretch, but I'm
It does feel like a stretch. I agree. I don't think it's an invalid path, though, of thought, you know? It is an interesting idea. The Pen of Galileo also still has a sticker on it.
Discoveries, not names, they're discovered, found. They emerge from doodles and afterthoughts as we have when we're walking about the place. It's as natural as breathing.
In Kendrick's 32 work, we did find Dark Matter in the Veil.
Right.
Issue 10 of the Academicalist Journal covered it. So why does this still have a sticker on it? There's something about...
Because there's a link.
Well,
that
it
we
has
don't-
it has an unlinked link, right? Well, shit.
Can we go back to the Kendrick 32?
Hold on. I have a thought.
Yep. Okay.
Issue 10 of the Academicalist Journal
Let's see.
was in 35. I'm wondering if the literary review would also have covered this.
Okay.
And that would be the link. So as far as like the kinds of things that would have links to the pen of Galileo, right? But I suppose this is an academic paper.
Yeah.
Probably not a literary.
So what literary review ones do we have?
We have.
And how does this line up with the Hammerstone Press?
We have these ones. This is all after Hammerstone Press shuttered, right?
Yeah.
22 and then restarted in 56. So oops,
All
that's
right,
not what I
then.
meant.
Can
Restarted
we?
in 56. So there is some overlap then. 56 to all this stuff.
Yeah. 22, and then LR22. I know we don't have the name for it, but that does it talk about Hammerstone there?
Yes.
Okay.
Received clues to help understand her deathbed work. Details next issue. That was supposed to be a 2-5. Okay, unfortunately not. Probably the next issue is probably not in the actual machine.
Okay.
That's a shame.
Yeah,
I would
that's
love
good.
to read a thing helping to understand Dorothea Pemberton's work.
Yeah.
I think at this point, like, it feels to me like the riddle should be solvable. It feels to me like we should be able to put it together. I feel like I have a much more thorough understanding of these situations. I just can't think of a good answer to the password hint.
I think structurally,
Yeah.
because of the clues they're highlighting, this doesn't feel fair, but I don't feel like they're red herring us. I feel like the mother's folder file, it mentions the grandfather, mentions Treasure Island. Both of those are named Will?
Sorry, say again?
Both Treasure Island, the Treasure Island entry mentions naming her first kid, who,
Right,
as far as I know,
after Billy
doesn't
Bones.
exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, William Billy Bones.
Yeah.
And then her grandfather's name is William.
Right.
Those are two men with the same name? I don't.
What an insane way to phrase the question that I think you're trying to ask is, what if those are the same person?
No, what if those are the two men? One's inside the machine and one's above.
Right.
I don't really know what above means.
Well, I mean, above could be biblical, right?
Which
above could refer to a dead. But so the question is, are they the same person then?
Well, it's two men stand on either side, one from above and one from inside.
What is the format of the... so when we go to the edit page... and I want to perform a wipe. Please enter Beatrice's magic word. If it was to be something William-like, it would be like... Well,
Do they use ones for L's?
oh, Cecil does, I suppose. Okay. That was, in fact, it. Enter code for release. We need to destroy EK-77. We were told we needed to destroy EK-77. Do we feel confident that was good advice?
Sure.
I'm doing it. I'm deleting your precious book.
Oh, is that so?
Oddly toilet-like in the end.
I wiped it. I swear I wiped it.
You can't destroy the Book of Resurrection. It won't work.
So, like, removing the book itself doesn't make any sense. If the circumstances that led to the book's creation are still present, then they're going to reconstruct the book. They're going to have already reconstructed the book, right?
Right. Well, Cecil made a book and it was not quite right.
Yes.
What if we make this book?
Okay, you're suggesting we do a make and
of EK-77.
Okay. All right. I'm willing to try that. If we sort of partially overwrite it with something else that takes its place. We never did get into the deep storage files. And the deep is all in caps, so it could be D3. And P was not. We've seen P as 9 before. Oh, hey. Hold on, now what's this? Restore BC67 from deep storage. Yeah.
I think that did something.
Cecil made one of these to celebrate little Alice, so here's one for you, William. May you grow to be as intelligent as your father and twice as open to the joys of the world. May you understand that how we treat each other is worth more than any grand design, any process on system. May you understand that how we put words together is a thing to be relished, not dissected. May you have a happier life than either of us did. I went back to see him. Alice told me I should. We talked like old friends for over an hour. He was funny and charming. As I stood to leave, I asked him, "Do you remember me at all?" "No," he answered with regret. "From what you've said, I infer we were once married." I hope we were happy, at least for a time. You seem very nice. He's long gone. Into the machine, Alice says, with the optimism of youth. This machine pieces things together. That's all it does. But it's always and only the machine. I've heard it talking to itself sometimes, round and round in circles. No, Alice, people do not get saved. They slip away. My Cecil is gone. My Cecil is gone as surely as my childhood. Mercy. This card is a tombstone. You deserve better, William. In case this machine can do what Cecil says it can, I will delete it. So she had William after she left Cecil.
I think so, yeah.
Do we remember the date of the marriage dissolving?
It was mentioned in one of Cecil's decade logs.
Yeah. But
so try CC69 maybe. And then there's
yeah. So she left some amount of time before, but she left between 59 and 69 and gave birth to Cecil in 67.
To William.
Or gave birth to William in 67.
But she went to see him and he didn't recognize her? I assumed that was Cecil that she didn't recognize, or he didn't recognize her.
Yeah.
So who is the Cecil making this entry?
Well, that's the thing. There's kind of
like two of them, or one in the machine or something.
Yeah. Because of what happened with Henry. All right. Anyway, sorry. Got distracted.
No, I mean, but I think that was important information.
We were going to
We're going
attempt to make End Piece, a new version of End Piece that fucks everything up.
It's EK77, right?
Thank you. I couldn't remember the K. I guess let's see. Oh, aborted.
Okay.
Well,
what's happening now?
it does not seem to want me to do this.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it breaks before I get the command entered. So I do sort of wonder if I could just type faster and make it happen.
If you click on it, does it do it?
Click on what?
On the thing on the screen.
Click on the do it. Okay, yeah. I suppose I could try it. Do it.
It's definitely not doing anything.
Yeah.
I guess whatever it was meant to do, it's broken.
No, I mean this is what it was meant to do. It's just we're trying to get it to malfunction in a very specific way.
Ah. Well, I'm stymied. I'm stuck.
Can't delete the Book of Resurrection.
Can you delete the Bible?
You know what? Let's see.
Well,
Let's see.
they mentioned a book of resurrection, right? So
Yeah. Here's the thing about this. Do it. That feels like it would certainly have an effect.
Now, what was that, I wonder? Your friend's little monitor just spiked. What are you up to down there?
Okay. Friend's little monitor just spiked. That's fun.
can we now try making GA00? And see if it changes.
It's definitely doing something.
Let's see.
Okay, can we...
It may have just remade it exactly as it was before we deleted it. Returns for the dead because people believed you were perfect just as you were. I'm coming for you. She says in 1999. Man, she figured something out about this that I still have not grasped. So deleting that and recreating it did not exactly work, but deleting it did do something.
Right.
Can we... What thread could we pull out of the timeline?
Right.
It does not understand that if this machine of ours is to think, it must be wise. So I've been feeding the classics. He has been releasing them again, but I have sealed that option up behind the name of the creation we haven't made yet. Okay, I feel like if we had come back and looked at her author page, we would have gotten that faster. Okay, yeah. So what could we pull out? What could we pull out that would be like... Unfortunately, trying to keep all 47 of the things that we know about in my head all at once is a little tricky. I like the idea with pulling the Bible out, but maybe it's...
Can we...
Maybe that was the start. Maybe
delete
it's
an author page.
If we were going to delete an author page...
Can... Cecil has an author page. If
you
we
want
delete...
You want to pull Cecil out entirely? Oh! Well, no, that's interesting. Pull Cecil out of the machine entirely.
Yeah. And if we have to, remake him.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. No, but the Cecil's person page is not a source.
Okay. Well,
Beatrice has both an author page and one of these comment tags. Would Cecil have... It would also be CC something. Hold on, let me step off of this page. Ah shit, this page has a note from Cecil on it. It's very annoying. Back to a different, even a more different page than that. There we go. I needed a page where CC11 didn't do anything else.
This machine in 1943.
He admits it was the QM55 which brought the machine to life. What if we unmake the machine by pulling out
Okay.
QM55? I feel like that's going to have an effect. Because it was feeding in QM55 that caused the machine to be able to understand itself, which was when it started displaying the spooky behaviors. The machine is gone. The future is trapped. Well, hold on now. The future is trapped is a wild thing to write and just be like, and that's the end of the work.
Okay. Well,
we did something. A future is no longer trapped, is what I would say we did. But apparently not the intended ending. Because it wasn't. This isn't what made the machine work. It was when they fed this in, like I said, when they fed this in, this is when the machine started to be able to...
Right.
To do weird stuff. This paper of BDs has the property, under the constant observation of the machine, of creating a DME effect that results in its own validation.
He started working on the machine in 43. Do we have a CC 43 entry?
Interesting question. Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
And so, the work begins in earnest.
First Cornerstone, QL, published in 1918.
Mine may be the only copy left. I hate to feel like we're just ripping at stuff at random, you know?
Yeah.
But I do kind of want to pull out the Cornerstone now.
Yeah.
As it has been identified.
I get it.
This isn't brute force. It's having a bunch of different ideas, which is a different thing. I'm a little sensitive about people get very aggressive with accusations of brute forcing things. Even when that's extremely clearly not what you're doing. It's just like if you get a thing wrong, it's like you can't just brute force it. I've had that accusation levied at me many times.
Proves you're here, somewhere in this wreck.
Okay. So QL18 was released. Out of curiosity, this isn't really what I want. What I want is to go to CC49.
And so, the work begins in earnest.
So I'm just curious, like, a thing that mentioned QL19. Okay, it's no longer in the machine. We have not, like, removed it from the timeline because he was still able to use it. So, okay, maybe a misunderstanding of the DME. Except that in the fake ending that we just got, it sure seemed like we understood it.
Yeah. I feel like there's something here with deleting and or making something, but I don't know what.
Yeah, the fact that you can make a copy of a thing and it can end up being a different version of the thing is such an interesting detail that we discovered so late. I really don't have any idea how to apply it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Do you want to try to find more literary reviews or something?
I don't know.
Because here's the thing I'm worried about. What if the thing we have to get rid of is one of the things we haven't found yet? You know.
Yeah, it's possible.
I'm going to the bathroom. Be right back.
All right. Bitwise reassociation.
Ah, welcome back.
Doesn't seem to have changed anything as far as I can tell.
I come to the home of rational thought.
Yeah.
With a
So it is interesting that it disassociated. And in fact, the do I have to go back to the pages maybe to get them to reappear? Because like the Bible.
I have returned. Any thoughts?
Welcome back. No, not really. I'm just noticing that once we've torn something out, it's in like the sort of fucked up state, and we get its tag back. But I guess I would probably have to go to.
You have to remake it, probably.
Well, I did remake it. That's why it's here.
Okay, gotcha. Right.
The work begins in earnest.
So if we go here, we have a reference for the title.
The Bible.
That rewrites the title. Okay, so yeah, when we unmake something, it does remove it from our list entirely, which is interesting. Yeah, and then if I reassociate it, it does finally end up back in the type. Okay. Well, that's interesting mechanically, and again, it does suggest that we do understand how the DME works.
Okay. Let's. Are you familiar with the game Time Agent? Time Agents, the board game.
No.
It's a board game where you are different space civilizations. It's kind of a little 4X-y, a little not, but where you are using time travel to change history to put yourself in better positions, and then trying to unevent time travel.
Yeah.
So we can't remove end piece. We can't remove it because
It seems to just reassert itself immediately.
But if we remove something
That was critical to the creation of End Peace.
then would it not prevent it from happening in the first place? So, like,
That's an interesting idea. That's an interesting approach. I'm trying to fuck up the machine, but yeah, maybe we fuck up End Peace instead.
What is given space to be seen is heard, and rejoice, for we find the heart open and the sky closed.
Looking at war news, who turns the tables against the Reich and Vichy France by leading a rebellion of the injured and sick and the dead. Pure fantasy, as Kendrick herself later acknowledged in a retrospective in the Literary Reviews, Volume 72, but it comes to a place of deep humanity and raises a mirror to the dark machine of the Vietnam War. It was popular, more popular than Doom Wild. Weirdly hard to find now.
Okay.
So, volume number 72 of the Literary Review discusses the creation of the book, then.
The idea that we might bring someone back from the dead has always fascinated me. To unwrite that most final of writings.
Right, the discrediting it was them saying that her husband wrote the book.
Right.
She's worked them over, they don't even know. Okay.
Showed me the way. And it worked. I knew almost as soon as it was published.
She doesn't mention her late husband. She does hint at new ones coming in. But she knows what she's got. She knows what her book can do. 74 account blames it on a book. If he had never done it to her, could she have done it back? Do you remember? Do you remember we were talking about this?
Yeah.
He reads the letter, and it is like pepper on his eyes. He clutches at his face. Still there, he thinks. Like hatred. Boiled down.
Ends mid-sentence with the professor apologizing to his wife for doing the same to her years before. So what if we pulled out that book?
Okay.
What did
Okay.
Kendrick
Let's see.
write that was the fucking the impetus for this? In the Shadow of a Passage?
I send her flowers, she sends them back. I send her letters, she sends them back. I dragged her to my room and I told her, and she wouldn't listen. So I had to give her something that she valued.
It's like no one liked it when it came out, although weirdly, PK's wife didn't complain too much, seeing as it's definitely about her. Because he fucking, he rewrote her brain about what their relationship was with the book.
Okay.
And it took her a while to figure it out. And then when she figured it out, she got revenge. By doing the same thing back to him.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So if we remove this thing.
Let's try it.
If we remove this thing, then I'm just trying to figure out what effect is that going to have on the timeline? Like, how would they? My concern is that this might not be.
Wait.
Okay.
Sorry. Go tell me your concern. I'm sorry. I just got excited.
Okay, the opposite of wait. My concern is that the thing that should happen if we were to remove this is so emotionally and diegetically complex that there wouldn't be a good way to represent it in the game, and so that means it feels like it's probably not actually the answer.
What if it's a stolen paper?
What if we remove the stolen paper? Well, but when we removed
JS something.
When we removed QL18, it didn't actually stop Cecil from having the knowledge that he gained from it, though.
Yeah.
When we removed the Bible, it certainly didn't. Although the Bible, it's sort of a jokey.
But if the whole thing is they are writing these ideas into existence, then the idea of writing ideas into existence is like the hazard.
Okay. Sure.
So
we could go to the root of that.
Yeah.
Who got the idea from who? Pemberton. From... Okay. I'm going to try wiping this just because I'm curious.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't think it's going to do anything. Although I think this is, like, given the actual tool that as it is presented here, I don't think this works in the sense of a video game and then you'd be able to see the effect from a basement immediately, and so it's a satisfying conclusion. But I do think this is what I would actually do. Because fuck that dude.
Yeah, right. It feels narratively more satisfying.
Yeah. Do it.
What are you up to down there?
Just fucking around, really. Okay, yeah, I didn't do anything. Okay, so we're tracking back the fucking penumbra calculus here.
Does this start with Pemberton or does it start with the paper?
Well, she has the idea. And it's a whole thing of tracing it back, right? But didn't it had to do with this guy, didn't it?
Maybe.
The thoughts we think have the power to rewrite our most basic conceptions.
Find dark matter and the veil. See if this relates. I thought we sort of tracked this down already a little bit, but we didn't understand what it was we were tracking down at the time.
To wield such power is ungodly.
The universe is more than the sum of its components.
Kendrick's first publication on dark matter and its perception, reminiscent of Silverton's 29 work. Then Kendrick goes mad because this isn't his.
Okay.
No, Silverton stole Kendrick's work.
Right. Well, you want to try? Let's try PK32.
No, hold on.
Okay. I am kind of upset Erasing the Husband's novel didn't do it.
It should have had some effect, right?
I do feel like that.
But the effect that it has is so complicated that there's no way for them to like. I feel like the road to the thing we're looking for goes through Pemberton. Pemberton is how Le Marchand gets his ideas, right?
Okay.
When we write or dream, we create. When we read or we play, we animate.
Let's try DPO8, the next book, because that might be a bit more.
These are described as the linchpins of her thought. Silverton used them in 29, supposedly. 2 years before her death in 1911, she was sent to France for the heirs. So her ideas, like, we can't remove something that Silverton did or that Le Marchand did because the other one still exists, right? The idea has spread out from Pemberton.
Right.
But we can't just delete a book that Pemberton wrote because Pemberton wrote a bunch of books and she had the ideas in the first place and she met people and she spoke to them. And we can't delete a conversation that she had with Quentin Le Marchand. But if we can delete the thing that gave her the idea.
Wasn't that Xavier Youngman?
Was it Youngman?
I think.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking. It was like one of the ones that there wasn't. No, I think you're right. Pemberton's ideas started with the Youngman's work.
When a single man imagines
So somewhere around here is the root.
not expected to come to pass. But when 100 men do the same, when their wives
Bro, matter in the dark like he was guessing, but he writes this book like he knows.
Pemberton swears this volume changed her life.
make no mistake,
Yeah.
the world the sum of our beliefs.
I think she is mistaken, modest, or hiding something. If only I could live again. Pemberton is Youngman.
Oh.
In the same way that Silverton is, right?
Congratulations, sis. Good for you. Good for her. Yeah. Yeah, no, okay.
Because there's that note on her page that she was born the same year he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Pemberton, so Xavier Youngman wrote himself, if only I could have another life.
And he did that in this one. So if we delete this one.
So, but when he wrote that, he already had the idea. I'm wondering if the thing to do then is to take out Matter in the Dark.
We try one and then the other. Let's go over to
We
Matter
still
in the
don't
Dark
really.
and see
We
what
still
it
don't have
says.
an understanding of the
Yeah.
the crack.
Words are entangled with the concepts that they embody, and with the conscious preconceptions that animate those concepts.
Yumi isn't mentioned.
Thus, words have a power
No, it's too early. It doesn't have the name yet.
as well as to describe.
Sees more on rereading his own text than was initially present. So if the text isn't there anymore for him to reread, if we really can remove the book, it's fine that he has the knowledge that he had when he wrote the book if he can't have the knowledge that he gets from rereading the book. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
We don't understand how this machine works.
No, don't.
I'm going to delete history. What
And
if
all associated data.
Yeah, what if fuck this one? Well, that did something. It's going to be that same ending, I think. If you remove anything that's in the lineage of the machine, maybe? Oh, wait, no, that stopped.
Abby? Abby, can you hear me? No, but of course you can't.
I pressed the thing.
It's only a machine, Dad.
I know. When we built her, Bea and I, we thought she'd get clever enough to speak, but I'm a little too old for fairy stories, I suppose.
It did what it was meant to do in the war.
Well, that's that. No, I just wanted you to see it, just the once. Come on, Alice. Let's go.
The web was woven curiously. The charm is broken utterly. Draw near and fear not. This is I.
So, I'm going to say two things here.
Okay.
Thing number one, I love a good story about a cognito hazard. Okay, I think conceptually the idea of a thought or an idea that is dangerous just to know is really fascinating.
And terrifying.
That said, I think this kind of thing, doing this with it, is profoundly unsatisfying. Because it's just like, I guess, okay, maybe I'm being unfair here. What I'm saying is, I think this is very unsatisfying because it's not like we made it impossible to know this thing. We just made it not have been known this one time. And tomorrow somebody could have the same fucking idea, right? And I guess when you have a movie where you're fighting a big demon and they seal the demon away, but they don't, permanently destroy it, we don't go like, well, that doesn't count. They can kill it forever. But like, it's probably fine. It's just like, it always leaves me with like, but you didn't do the thing. But the thing's still, but the truth is still true.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe we're all just supposed to like live in fear. We're supposed to take away from that feeling of unsafeness that comes with it still being the case that the problem could again rear its head. And in so doing, one hopes create the conditions for its own undoing. I don't know. What did you think?
I really feel like even if it wasn't, so they obviously had at least more than one ending, right?
I mean, we saw one ending.
Yeah, so I feel like not having an ending where we fix the thing by changing how that relationship works, changing that novel. I think that is the ending that makes thematic emotional sense in like a literary way, in a narrative way, and I'm really upset that didn't work. Mostly I enjoyed playing the game with you, though. I enjoyed the experience of the game, and I enjoyed having to figure out that we had to delete something else. I do think like the actual ending was maybe a little underwhelming.
Yeah, this is clearly the intended. This is the what they would call in video game circles owned by 12-year-olds or operated by 12-year-olds the true ending.
Okay.
I've had we could have a whole very long conversation about my feelings about the idea of a true ending and the way that terminology sort of crept into being and
yeah.
Do you want to have that conversation?
Sure. If you,
it's messy. It's messy. It's like it's a lot of half-formed ideas, but like there is a theory of art criticism that the only thing about any piece of art that's real is the experience that you have with it, right?
Yeah.
Which is to say, there is no objective truth of the art. The art is always experiential, and I think that it's very easy to like sort of go, well, no, like the painting's right there, like regardless of what I see or what you see or the bad day that you're having or whatever, the painting's right there. The painting objectively exists. With something like video games, I think it's much less dismissible. And to be clear, I don't think that it's fair to dismiss it in the case of looking at a painting or whatever. I think that is sort of missing the point. To be clear, I am mostly on the side of this theory that the experience of the piece of art is the only thing about the art that's real or that matters. With video games, I think it's a lot harder to dismiss the idea because everybody's experience of the game and any kind of interactive medium, you say, I'm talking about video games because that's my wheelhouse, but like a piece of interactive performance art, similarly, right? Like the performance itself is going to be different for every interactor. Right. And so you have the thing that you have that had happened to you. And so like in a lot of video games have a sort of like a fake out bad ending for if the video game judges you did not video game it good enough. A very clean example of this recently is Nine Sols. If you play Nine Sols and you beat all the bosses and you defeat the final boss and stuff, but you didn't do these 9 other things on the hidden internal checklist, you get the bad ending where your character progression, like the thematic and story progression, is completely reversed, and you just go back to your home planet and you live there with robot slaves, and it's like, oh no, nobody learned anything, and it's sad. Or you can get the other ending by doing all the things on the hidden checklist, and then you get an ending that is thematically appropriate. It represents the completion of an arc and stuff, right? And we call that the true ending, the good ending, but also is called in many circles like a true ending. And there, like, you can kind of see how the terminology came about, right? Like, one of those things is not the ending to the story. One of those things is just you being arbitrarily punished by a game developer who kind of is a dick. And I hate those endings. But I think there's something about the way people think about video games and what you're supposed to do in them, and the terminology of the true ending, or something underlying that is revealed by the terminology of the true ending, that has crept out backwards into the idea of the story of you playing a game itself. When I finished Disco Elysium, I had what I thought was a very emotionally affecting story, and I thought the conclusion of things, aside from the fact that it's so eager to set up its sequel, right? It's so eager to set up the further adventures of the Cop Squad. Aside from that, I felt like it was very appropriate to the decisions that I had made and the kind of that character that I had portrayed. Somebody left a comment on that video saying, "This was a cool playthrough, but it's a shame you got the second worst ending."
Oh.
And I was flabbergasted by that. I was like, this person has a hierarchy of the different ways that the ending cinematic can go, and one of them is the real one, and all the other ones are you fucked it somehow, because there's a correct version of events. And I think, like, obviously it's useful to talk about that with Disco Elysium, because Disco Elysium, way more than most games, that's obviously the wrong way to approach it, right? But yeah, I think that you're right that it's a huge, like, I knew it wasn't going to do anything when we did it. And it's a huge shame that it doesn't do anything. But, like, because of the restrictions of the form, video games trying to deal with a linear story, trying to get you to complete a linear story, have to have all of these really tight restrictions on the kinds of things, the kinds of effects that you can actually have in the world.
Sure.
And sometimes that butts up against the fiction that they're writing in really unpleasant ways, like we saw here.
I feel like that's one they should have anticipated, though.
Well,
it feels
I think I don't know that they didn't anticipate it, but what the fuck were they going to do? Like, in what way would they display to you that had happened? The whole game is you sitting in a basement.
Yeah.
Well, right, like the effects that undoing Emma's brain damage would have been incalculable. If she had never never bailed on what's his name, and had never married Kendrick, and had then probably married the other dude instead, as was the implication, I think, was that their relationship was headed in that direction, or had not married at all, but had just, continued with her understanding from that point. Like, we're talking about a world that's different in a totally different way, and that, I think, this is a real thing with these kinds of games, right? Where the only way you can break time is to undo the thing that lets you have the power to change time, because that's the only ending that's possible to put in a box and show people. Right? Like, if you think about, like, Looper, spoilers for the 2012 movie Looper, from the premise, the only way that film can end is Joe kills himself. Because the movie's an hour and a half long. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like the real world limitations of the piece of art itself prevent it from having any of the other endings, because what would that even be?
I mean, it'd be Clue, the theatrical film. No, but I know what you mean, and it's
the ending has to be small to fit in the box.
Yeah. And that in itself can be.
We don't need to be doing this here. We could be in the cave right now.
You know, and the thing is, you know, the epilogue at the end, my understanding there from what, like, we were the computer?
No, we were a person working on the computer. We had a name and everything, Abby.
Yeah, but they were talking, Cecil and Elise were talking about Abby not being able to hear them.
I thought they were talking about
they called the computer Abby.
Okay, but the Abby that we were as a person, because we were walked down there. Do you remember at the beginning of the game we weren't at the computer?
Well, we disappeared then.
We were walked down. Yeah, the circumstances that made us, because the war never occurred.
Okay.
Right?
My interpretation was different, but all right.
I'm not saying that the ending that we had didn't have wide-reaching effects on the world. I'm saying that it could be displayed to us from the box.
Yeah.
Right. It had to be an ending that is about the things that were already in front of us.
Yeah. I get what you mean. Yeah, and there's a way in which that puts a limitation that makes that kind of thing inherently unsatisfying in a way that it wouldn't be with another form that could get outside the box a little bit, or could do
something where you don't necessarily have to
montage of
Yeah. Well, I think it's just like a place where like a completely text format has huge advantages with your ability to do something more sweeping or more abstract or.
So that took longer to play than we anticipated. Is that it for phase 2, or?
And I don't. To be clear, I think it's probably not the only thing that you could do. Like it was probably possible to save the dude, right? To reconstitute the man, because like his vital spike. I bet we could have unkilled that guy somehow.
Okay.
And we did still miss, a couple of sources, and so there might be other possibilities that were not clear. But that feels like the video game ending to that video game concept to me.
Yeah.
They made a good thing. I'm not trying to say the thing was bad.
I don't think that's coming across as
I have a lot of larger frustrations.
We're discussing the merits of the work, and it's
Cat of Nine Tails says in chat, if you prevented the war, you did unkill the guy. Maybe we may have unbirthed the guy. The thing we did definitely had some far-reaching consequences. Who knows? But yeah, probably that is probably fine. But I'm wondering, because of the fact that it was they bothered to put in lines about how there's all those lines about like the resurrection book, and then like how you mess with that and it made him move or whatever. Like it feels to me like there's a way to resurrect him.
Okay.
And I would say that is within the scope of the things they could do in the game, is have your partner guy come back to life and fight the bad man who is looking for you. I don't feel that the character stuff was particularly strong with the characters outside of the machine story.
Yeah.
Which is part of why I can't remember anybody's name.
I mean, honestly, every time they interrupted us while we were in the middle of something, it kind of detracted from the.
I'm not going to say I was glad he was dead, but
It detracted from the texture of being in this machine with these documents. You know.
Mhm.
You know, I've done some research. Like I have now. Earlier this year, I've gone into an archive, gone into their papers, and done research and jotted things down and tried to draw connections. And it is a very quiet, solitary thing. So
Mhm.
having some chatty Cathy talking to you while you're trying to do it, or someone who's trying to murder you while you're trying to do it, it's no good.
You're all making notes, and she's like, "Ack,
Right.
coffee and ice cream or whatever." Kathy, is that what Kathy's about? She likes ice cream.
I'll probably, I'll ask my friend Rally. She's a Cathy expert. Is doing a Cathy video essay one of these days, so she'll let me know.
Shoes, probably right.
Probably shoes. Yeah. Alex Ballou says echoes of her story, and I want to say Mist.
I don't think. I mean, her
I've seen
story. Her
story
story
a
is
bit.
in her. I was going to say, especially not.
Okay.
I guess for me, I think the thing that makes them very, very different for me is that in one of them you are fully a spectator. You know, in both Mist and TR-49, you are, at least in TR-49, you have the possibility of sort of refolding the thing back around on itself. But in her story, you're just like learning about a thing that happened.
I do like about her story that
I guess even though that is, even though in terms of like what you're actually doing from moment to moment, TR-49 and her story are quite similar. They feel very different to me because one of them is about figuring out how to use a tool to have an effect, and the other one is just about learning something.
Cat Nine Tails says, I know why she brings up Mist. It's about writing things into existence. Okay, I see that.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of thematic and mechanical. Yeah, the Mist comparison totally.
Something I really like about her story is that there isn't a ending. There's not a bad ending or good ending. It's you are done when you say you are done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I really like that a lot as a way to.
Yeah, a lot of people find that very unsatisfying. that was a complaint that I had seen many times.
Well, I mean, I've heard that complaint about because I have a board game, City of Six Moons, that does not confirm that you've done it right. You know, essentially, and people hate that. They want that closure and confirmation, and I think having a thing where you don't have closure, you have to decide on your own closure, I think has a lot of value. And honestly, the parts where we were figuring out how these authors intersected, how these things intersected, were a lot more satisfying to me necessarily in this game than finding the answer.
There are definitely places where a problem I often have with these like automated note-taking systems, and I did think this game's automated note-taking system was very good, but a problem that I often have with them is that they tell you things that you didn't. They write down things that you don't know, so they're not a note you would have made, and then you find out the thing from the note that you wouldn't have made. And I guess in one sense it's rescuing people from their own inattentiveness, right? But in another sense it can really spoil stuff. Like, it was clear that there was some kind of connection between Pemberton and Youngman probably too early, because our character made a note, hey, this is the same year that what's his name died. That's pretty, like, don't do that. Especially for a thing like that where where the knowing it is not something there's any way for the machine to meter. Like, there's no way for the machine to recognize that you've clocked that those are the same date. You definitely can't be writing shit down like that.
Especially when it's like a eureka moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
I had forgotten it, and so it was cool to get to realize it. But then when I saw it on the after I did, I was like, oh, wait, right, because it's on the note. So there we go. My brain has evolved. It's evolved super defenses against this kind of thing because it just don't work right in the first place. Yeah, I have watched probably at this point conservatively 20 people play through Outer Wilds, and it's not all of them, but a non-zero number of them, certainly a larger number of them than I would like, have said things that are versions of, like, they'll encounter something on their run and they'll be like, wow, I can't wait to get back to the ship to find out what I just saw.
Oh, that's rough.
No, you were supposed to brain it. You are supposed to brain it with your own brain, not with the brain that already knows what the thing is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What did you love this week, sweetheart?
Nothing. I had a miserable week and I hate everybody. Sorry. I have had a bastard of a time with all this medical stuff. We still don't have any appointments for any of the...
Yeah.
We're gonna have to make some changes, I think. Anyway, no, I've had a rough week, but I'm sure something. I didn't have a prep. Do you have something prepped? Can you go and I will
have something prepped. You know what I saw yesterday or the day before?
What's that?
Was hang on, I'm getting the title of the movie from my Letterboxd. Okay, hang on. Just waiting on my browser. Sorry. My phone is freezing. Okay. It is God damn it. I'm sorry. Okay. It is Pula Magica the movie part 3 Rebellion. That was pretty good. I liked that. That was
a fucking soup. Some kind of Magica Magica thing.
Yeah, it's the third film.
Okay.
So my favorite part of that series, which someone else is showing to me, is like the weird labyrinth stuff where the art gets very abstract and mixed media, and this movie is like 90% that, and so that for me like makes it like a really compelling thing as like an animation nerd. So if you like an anime, it's pretty good, and I think that some of those sequences are quite visually compelling and trippy and surreal, and using the animation in a very thematic way to actually have emotional resonances and points they're trying to make. And so that's the thing I have to recommend. My week also has been pretty terrible because of stuff that's been terrible for you.
Yeah,
Look,
we had mostly this
alongside you.
Mostly we have had the same week, and it was bad together. You know what? A thing that has been happening that I've been a big fan of is you've been playing Hitman, and you've been still playing Hitman, and let me watch you play Hitman. And that's a relaxing for me. That's a relaxing. That makes me feel pretty happy. Looking at my pages and stuff. Yeah. Might be it. It's been a bad week. But anyway, that's a fun seg. We call that a seg. That's a fun seg into the fact that there's going to be a little special thing coming out on the channel. I really wanted to get into more demos, but I just haven't had the time, and frankly, I would like to rest. So I maybe there will be some stuff for more demos, but right after we end the stream here, I am going to set live a little gift that Amabel has made for all of y'all. Amabel took her own time, quite a lot of her own time, I will say, to put together a compilation. Supercut's not the word we want, but an edited down version of the Amabel Masters Miami saga.
Mm-hmm.
Cutting out all of the not best bits, so it's all best bits. 100%.
No panic attacks.
100% cream. No crop left. Just cream. It clocks in at about 5 hours. And it is. I have watched it. It is a treat. It is not. It is. If you watched all of the streams, you've seen most of it before. But there's a couple little treats. A couple little bits of extra work. Amabel had a little tiny bit of animation commissioned, and I really enjoyed watching it. Hopefully y'all will as well. So that's gonna be live. That's gonna be going up live right after the stream ends, and I enjoyed that. That's my thing.
Thank you,
my thing for this week is you, Amabel. You're a delight. Lazuli in chat says, thanks for improving my Sunday by making me think of Macho Man Randy Savage. I missed what made people think of Macho Man Randy Savage, but yes, thank you to that person as well, because now I'm thinking of the Macho Man Randy Savage, and things are looking up a little bit. It's an improvement. Let's see here. Fake Alex Blue says, I should have had a queer sci-fi book to recommend to y'all, but at the climactic moment of the plot, I discovered a printing error. My copy was printed missing 2 whole chapters. Oh no.
Oh, that's rough.
Absolutely brutal. I'm sorry to hear that. Steph says, I've been checking out Death Howl, a deck building game that is not a roguelike. They call it a Souls-like, but I don't think that comparison's apt either. Death Howl. I feel like I looked at this, but I can't remember what it is. So now I'm looking at it again. Death Howl. Oh, yes, right, because this art style. This art style is very easy to remember. This is a Steam game. I'll just go ahead and pull the cave image down for a second here. Check out the Death Howl. Yeah, that looks pretty rad. There's some cool stuff going on there. It's got a demo, so you can try it. It's also properly on sale. That looks neat. Also, cool bands Sawda Metal Fest, Itinera, Trollbar de Mort, Tempest, Salna's Tales. I don't think I'm personally familiar with any of those, but fucking hell yeah, Metal Fest. Uh-oh. BBDDH says, I wanted to mention something. I think your routine videos are chroma keying something. Oh no.
What?
Oh no.
Wait, how?
Okay, I'll have a look and see if I can figure out what's going on. That's not good. It's also possible the game just looks like that. It is kind of a weird looking game, but I will have a look into it. Can you point me to a time code where something is fucky? Because I would love to. Ah, bloody hell. More people confirming that the videos is bad. Well, shit. The very bright whites in routine are displaying as black. Why would that be happening?
No.
That's fascinating. Okay, I'll see. Okay.
You've had so much trouble with that game.
We're trying to get that game to record in a way that, yeah, it has caused a lot of troubles. It has become a haunted computer video game for my real life. Lana the Witch says,
done with it? Because it's a short game, isn't it?
I think I'm almost done with it. Lana the Witch says, my girlfriend and I played Reanimal, a little co-op adventure from the Little Nightmares people, which was a good time. Yeah, I saw some of that get played. I saw Secret Sleepover Society play the beginning of that. It looks neat. It looks real cool. It's very noticeable when you use the cat modules. Okay. I will look into it and see if I can fix it. It's possible that I can't. I'll tell you what, I have had so much struggle with that game already. I may just have to leave it. Okay, thank you, BVDDH. I will look into that. Yeah, Reanimal looks cool. Reanimal looks really neat. Anyway, it's been a whole week of nothing going right and everything's a nightmare and I keep crying. And I guess that's good. Here's the thing. Today's a new day. I haven't done anything but stream today. It's entirely possible that today is going to be better. Tomorrow, a whole new thing on top of that even. And we got to keep that kind of energy, right? Things are not going to get better if we don't believe things can get better. Right. So that's not the only thing you have to do, but it is a critical part of the thing. So that's going to be it for us for today, I think, with that. I am going to try to fix stuff. I am going to set live Amabel Masters Miami, the Amabel cut. It's a masterpiece. And when y'all come back for more videos later this week, there will be more videos later this week. I will conclude routine in one fashion or another. It's going to happen. We'll check out some other stuff. The Phoenixes will keep pointing, you know, all that. And when you come back next time for next week's stream, who knows? Who knows what kind of madness we're going to get into. The only way for you to know is to show up. So go out into the world, bring the positivity with you. The world does not have a lot of positivity floating around right now. Ambient positivity levels are low. So you got to bring that shit with you, find things to have feelings about, and then bring all that good energy back here for us, and we'll all share in it, and it'll be great.